Go, 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 let's get it. I'm a trapping fanatic, that shit automatic, so I cannot turn it on or off. Bitches all on my dick, then she hop on my dick, I'm like, why you keep hopping on and off? Your bitch all on my dick, she be doing the most, I tell her, little bitch, she so extra. And my gun up on me, but not run up on me, niggas, they wanna fight, they some wrestlers.
Within the Leaf Village, there was a child of lightly colored hair, almost purplish pinkish in a way. He ran through flipping over carts and different objects within the village. His flashy stunts and rambunctious pranks always caused a scene, especially since the people of this place hated this child, only for reasons that this person could not control, as it was not his fault. He was known as the Demon Fox Child, as he housed the Ninetales inside of him, a beast that obliterated the village not too long ago. Additionally, he was a part of a notorious clan known for their special abilities, but also their betrayal of the Leaf's own second Hokage. The Uzui clan was hailed throughout the shinobi nations as a proud and honorable clan, but that was only a long time ago. Their trading methods produced only killing machines, not real shinobi. The father of many children was the one to kill Tobirama in his final battle, and this person was also the grandfather of Naruto, meaning he was the father of Minato Uzui and his younger brother, Tengen Uzui. As on this fateful day, Naruto had stolen food from a shopkeeper who was chasing him. Naruto looked ahead of him, and his ears could hear multiple footsteps running towards him. He stopped running and then bursted into speed in an opposite direction. Multiple shopkeepers then jumped into the alleyway as Naruto noticed that they tried to cut him off. The boy's superhuman hearing gave him the advantage here, as he was able to figure out each direction of every person and where they would be coming from. Naruto was then surrounded in an alleyway but only smiled, as Iruka, his teacher in the academy, was there as well. Naruto, give up and return what you stole. Naruto then looked up to the roof and smiled to Iruka. I guess you're right, sensei. You caught me. The clone of Naruto then goes up in smoke, angering the people and his teacher. Naruto is now seen laying on the head of Minato Namikaze, a former Hokage of the Leaf Village. These people are all so lame and boring. The world should be explored, as there's no reason for someone like me to be stuck here. As Naruto would continue to eat, he then noticed that his ear was grabbed by someone's soft hands. Hey, what do you think you're doing stealing from innocent people like that? Naruto quickly turned, seeing unfamiliar women behind him, with a taller man also. He had an incredible physique and blades on his back that were large as well. What's your problem? Those guys had it coming. They attack me whenever they see me. Plus, you saw that guy. He could lose a couple. I'm helping him out. Makio hits Naruto on his head, causing him to get up. Man, you just ruined my lunch. I'm out of here. Naruto jumps off the head of Minato, shocking the group as Sumo begins freaking out. Tengen, save him, he's going to die. No, not yet. They all watch as Naruto keeps falling, and right before he gets pretty close to the ground, he creates a shadow clone. As this clone flips itself mid-air, kicking Naruto's feet forward so that he could land on a building. Tengen calls this impressive as he watches Naruto dash around from building to building. As Naruto looks back, he instantly stops and flips back, dodging the punch of Tengen. Not bad, but let's see how strong you really are. Tengen continuously attacks Naruto, who manages to evade some of his best attacks, but he does so to the best of his ability. Naruto is only able to keep up, due to Tengen heavily suppressing himself. The younger man then turns up the intensity of this battle, hitting Naruto with a punch that knocks him out. Tengen and his wives then go right to the Hokage's office with Naruto. He wakes up on the shoulder of Tengen, but the conversation between the two men was already over. Naruto acts as if he's asleep, as he thinks this will be his best course of action. He then jumps off the shoulder of Tengen quickly, and he throws down a smoke bomb. He runs out of the Hokage office and sprints to a different location within the village. The Hokage tells Tengen that he's sorry for the trouble, but the man doesn't seem to be worried at all. Tengen then opens a window and turns his head, listening for the rampant footsteps of the boy. As Naruto went to jump to another rooftop, he quickly stopped himself, as Tengen appeared in front of him, telling him that he has to come with him. Why should I? I don't even know you. Well, it's either you come with me, or the villagers of this place will eventually kill you. Naruto was shocked by this statement, but pulls out 2 kunai. I'd like to see them try. Tengen doesn't even react to this, until Naruto appears to his side. I've got you now. Sorry, but you're still too slow. Tengen disarms Naruto and kicks him to the ground. Naruto looks up as he's kneed in the stomach and sent into a tree. This makes him spit out a little bit of blood, as he would scoff here. Huh, you're fast. Naruto, let me ask you something. What does life mean to you? Naruto then pauses for a moment, but truly doesn't have an answer. He was always alone, doing as he pleased. So what could life even mean to him? Tengen then spoke. Life to me is something I value and something I protect. Come with me, Naruto, so you can find your very own answer to this question. Sitting in a village like this is boring. You need to see the world for what it truly is. So who better to show you than your own uncle? Naruto's eyes widen, as at the end of the day the two of them are seen alongside all 3 of Tengen's wives as they're at the gate of this village. Do you have any regrets before leaving this place? No, not at all. I don't have any friends, nor do I have any family here. So what's there to regret? Well, there's always the possibility that you have someone here who you deeply admire and wish to see again. Naruto then gets a flashback to the time that he protected a younger Hinata from bullies. It causes him to blush and then shake his head, saying no. Suma looks at him, stating that he's lying, and he tells her to be quiet. This causes Makio to begin yelling at him, and Tengen gets them all to calm down, as Naruto will be able to return here one day. He just won't be the same person at all. Good, because by that time, I'll be ready to become the Hokage. Hearing that word Hokage causes them all to sigh. A person of Uzui blood cannot become Hokage, let alone any rank of shinobi. Naruto asked why that was, and Tengen then told him to pay attention as they exited the leaf, as by the time they arrive, this story should be finished. Long ago, in the time of the Warring States period, there existed another clan who allied themselves with the Uchiha against the Senju and the Uzumaki. They were known as the Uzui clan, fierce warriors with incredible natural talent for combat. Their natural speed was said to even rival a highly trained shinobi who was going all out. The Uzui's clan members also had an incredible sight and hearing, which helped them out in combat. They relied on sounds of their opponents to win battles, as if trained properly, they could even hear the insides of their opponents, so they know when to strike. After Madara Uchiha lost to Hashirama Senju, the Uzui clan distanced themselves from all shinobi and villages. They created their own village, like the Uzumaki did, but kept theirs hidden from others. They attacked shinobi from the Leaf and many other villages constantly, as Tobirama during his time of Kage was able to gain the trust of the current clan head of the Uzui clan. This was the father of Minato and Tengen, Hitsugaya Uzui. During one of the next wars, Tobirama was seen with his squad, which included Hitsugaya. The two of them went to lay their lives down in the final battle, but during that is when the Leaf Shinobi would get a glimpse of the Uzui clan leader betraying them. He cut off the arm of Tobirama with immense speed, and then their own battle began. Tobirama tried his best to use the Flying Raijin to defend himself, but Hitsugaya's base speed alone was enough to keep up with him. He went in right for the kill, as after this many members of the Uzui clan began hunting down highly ranked officials from each village, believing that this would end the war faster. This is what caused a temporary alliance from all the villages, as they placed a ban on all the members of Uzui blood from becoming any type of shinobi. Even samurai did this as well. As some time did pass, and the brothers grew up together, they were forced to kill their other siblings by their father. It was a brutal battle, but it had to be done for their own survival. Minato hated every minute of it, as he missed his siblings. He then began to plot on their father, which led to Minato assassinating him, as this is when Minato would leave the Uzui clan, as he left it to be led by Tengen, who didn't hate Minato at all for his actions. He just wished his elder brother would have told him. The next time the two of them met was when Minato was a shinobi in the Third Great War. They met on the battlefield, as Tengen was confused because Minato shouldn't have been able to become a shinobi, and then he realized it. The younger brother then called out Minato for hiding his heritage from the world in order to gain status as a shinobi. Minato ignored this, only apologizing before killing many of his own kind. Tengen was one of the only survivors from this great skirmish, which caused Minato to eventually become the Hokage. However, Danto found out about his blood and brought this up to the elders. Many meetings over the course of months were held before Minato was elected, and they made their decision. Based on the Uchiha still being alive and really healthy, if Fugaku became the Hokage, he may give them leverage in the village, and if the elders rebel against him, he may cause a coup d'etat. However, if they make Minato the Hokage, they can just kill him or replace him at any time with no consequences from his clan. Tengen then skips ahead for quite some time because he doesn't know what actually happened while Minato was a Hokage for a couple of years. But he does know what happened on that fateful night. Naruto didn't know what he was talking about until he explained. This was the night that you were born. I remember it very clearly. I was there, watching in the shadows. I could have even helped save him, but I didn't, as it's one of my biggest regrets. Minato may have turned on our family, but I turned on him, which makes me no different. As after telling this story, Naruto was seen sitting in silence. Also, before I even forget, Naruto is 2 years older than his canon self, meaning he's 8 right now, and the Uchiha clan massacre still hasn't happened just yet, as Sasuke will be around 6 years old. But I just wanted to add that in. I only need his age for the purpose of his training anyway. Back to the story. Naruto looked up at Tengen, and then walked over to a tree branch. It was night, and they had already set up a camp. Naruto then punched the tree, shaking it, making blood come off of his knuckles. He keeps doing so, with Tengen not stopping him at all. He only looks down into the fire, and then back at Naruto, to see tears coming from his eyes. All his suffering, pain, and rage was on the outside now. Naruto was usually upbeat and carefree, but now he was furious. Naruto was about to punch the tree again until Hinatsuru then pulled him in closely. Naruto would stop punching as he felt this warmth. He then fell to his knees, remembering the moments of his life when many villagers tried to kill him, as he just wants to get revenge in this moment. He can't think of a way how to do so right now, but he wants to kill them. While still being held, he glares at Tengen. Train me. No. What? No. Not if you wish to seek revenge. You won't be able to learn the techniques at all. Naruto then stands up, holding out his hand. Alright then. If I beat you, then you'll have to train me. Hinatsuru tries to calm Naruto down, saying he wasn't thinking rationally. But this doesn't work at all. He only rushes Tengen, only to be slammed back into the ground through his anger. Any attack Naruto tries just simply doesn't work. Tengen's moves are far too quick for him, especially at this point. Naruto, while laying on the ground, defeated, slams his hands. I need more. More. Even more than I've ever had before. He forces himself to stand, but he's shaking. Tengen then sighs, pulling out his blades. All 3 of his wives then tell him to stop. But he tells them to get back now. They're forced to listen to him, as he then points one of the blades at Naruto. Revenge will bring you nothing. It has only brought my family shame and dishonor. Tengen swings down the blades at Naruto, creating an explosion, but time then slowly stops. Naruto appears right in front of the Nine Tails. Where am I? You've entered my domain due to your rage and lust for power, as I can be the one to grant it to you. Why should I trust you? Because we are one and the same. Shut up, you stupid fox. If you're really that strong, just give me the power right now. Very well, but do not blame me for what happens next, as remember you were the one who asked for it. The explosion goes off with Tengen being shocked that Naruto was able to tank such a blow, as he could feel it. As we look up to see Naruto catching one of the blades with his bare hand. Even though he was just barely holding it back, it still would have killed him if he didn't do this. Tengen then hears a difference in Naruto's chakra lines and the flow of his chakra. He flips back and gets a good look at Naruto's rage that was boosted by the Nine Tails. This kid is more dangerous than I thought. So that's why he was treated like that within the village. I knew they hated our clan, but there had to be something more deeper about it. You're pretty smart, Minato. Sealing the Nine Tails within your own son. That way the village would have to keep him around. They couldn't just kill him. Looks like you planned for everything. God, I hate that. Tengen tells him to get ready, as each of his wives then smile. The group rush Naruto as he dodges their attacks quickly. Tengen forces Naruto back with his pure strength before making him land in the middle of his wives' triangle. Hinataru then apologizes for this, as a seal then appears on the ground below Naruto, as the QB is further suppressed within him. Thank you all. The three of them then smile, as now we get their clans of origins. Each of his wives comes from one of the three great clans: Makio Senju, Hinataru Uchiha, and Suma Uzumaki. Naruto then wakes up in a bed with robes on instead of his usual clothing, which confused him. But this bed, it was so nice. He felt like he actually got a really good night worth of sleep, which he couldn't say for a long time. He walks around this large monastery-like home. They see women of all kinds working. There were maids, butlers, and just plain guards everywhere. He walked around a corner to see a young woman smile at him. Hello there, young master. How did you enjoy your rest? Where am I? Oh, my apologies. Everyone, come greet the young master. He's finally awoken. A bunch of people then kneel to Naruto, welcoming him to the Sound Village. This makes him freak out and then run towards the window to see an extraordinary land, rich in soil, rivers, and crops. It was hidden not only by trees, but large hills and mountains, almost as if this place was some sort of paradise. Naruto then sits back and sighs. He's really done it now. He yells Tengen's name throughout the building, but he's not even there. He was in the hot spring with his three wives sitting there. Suma then asked him how he thinks Naruto will adjust to this new life, and he only sighs. If he's anything like his father, he won't, and he may end up leaving just like Minato. But the blood of the most flashy warriors runs through him strongly, as Tengen then gets a flashback to Naruto when he was powered up. Not bad at all for a kid his age, making contact with one of the most powerful tailed beasts, and actually gaining some of its power. I'd say that's a feat only someone of a Chunin level could do, but what do I know? I've never actually been a shinobi anyway. They notice that Tengen rants for quite some time about Naruto, and they ask him if he's actually taken quite a liking to him even though they just met, and Tengen only looks at all of them. I think I'll take him on as my student. The girls are genuinely shocked to hear this, especially since Tengen has had so many offers from so many other warriors that wish to learn from him. He then explains how when he faced Naruto, he could feel it inside of him as well. Not only that, but the warrior inside of him. well, it calls out for battle. Every warrior has their own style of combat that they learn throughout their many battles, but he's still a child, someone who can grow and be different from all of us. This is his home now, and I want to raise him as my own child. Plus, I think it would be nice to give you three a chance to raise a child as your own as well before we actually have one. As all of you are his aunts technically. They all begin to blush while Tengen laughs. Hinatsuru then asks Tengen if this was all that was on his mind, and he sighed. I wish it was, but I learned my brother was killed, which means he had some powerful enemy out there in the world, and it's likely that he's still out there. I must prepare Naruto, as one day he'll have to face the man that killed his father. But the last thing that's on my mind is our unique Kekkei Genkai, and if Naruto possesses it. Only 1 in 20 children are born with our unique explosion release, and I wonder if he's so lucky to be one of them. We see Tengen close his fist as he thinks about using explosion release and how it works. We then see Naruto back at the large building with clothing now more suited to him on him. A black shirt with a dark blue jacket that had the family crest on it. What a pain. I'm heading out. Some of the servants then try to stop him, telling him to wait for Tengen to come back, but he dashes by them with ease. Naruto then makes it to the roof of the building where he begins looking around. So this is the mighty Sound Village, home of the Uzui family. Pretty cool. But I wonder what we have here. He jumps from building to building as guards would try and stop him. Who are you, and what are you doing here? It doesn't matter to you, so stay out of my way. Naruto flash steps away, but then the man appears behind him once again. He tries to strike only for the boy to dodge, and Naruto then lands a blow to his stomach. The man then tries to cut Naruto by his throat, but Naruto can only laugh. Checkmate, kid. Yeah, you're right. Naruto then vanished in smoke as he was seen walking through the streets with his robe on, taking a low profile. As he walks around, he's found by Suma, who was looking for flowers to give Makio and Hinatsuru. Oh, hey Naruto. Naruto looks at her and then walks over. What are you doing outside the house? I'm just getting some fresh air, jeez. Really? Whenever I'm at the monastery, I never want to leave. Must be nice. I'm not used to having good things like that, let alone a bed. Suma then gained a confused expression and asked Naruto not to lie. You think I'm lying? I didn't have anything where I came from. I slept in a rundown apartment and on the streets and rooftops of the Leaf Village. Naruto then calmed down, actually seeing her expression as she was almost crying for him raising his voice. Jeez, I'm sorry. She then asked him if he was hungry, and he turns his head saying no, but then he blushes as his stomach continues to growl. When was the last time you ate? I don't know, probably when you saw me steal that fruit. She then sighs and grabs his hand as they go to meet up with Tengen and the two others. Tengen wasn't there as he had some business to attend to, but his other two wives were, as they would sit down for brunch, where Makio looks to Naruto across the table. He was only looking at the food, so she told him he could eat. Naruto then turned to her and covered his face. They asked why he did that, and Naruto stated he didn't really want to talk about it. Hinatsuru then got a glimpse of a small cut that was under Naruto's hair that he was trying to hide from them. She wonders what that could be from, but didn't worry about asking him at all. Naruto, do you want to hear a cool story about a woman named Kushina? Naruto then looked up to her, giving a confused expression, as Suma was seen with a shocked one. I don't know who that is, nor do I care. That's pretty mean considering she's another Uzumaki, and your own mother. Naruto's eyes then widen, as he turns to her slowly. How do you know her? I don't, but Suma does. Naruto then turns looking directly at her. Well, I kinda do. We used to be best friends when before she was forced to go to the Leaf Village. What do you want to know? Naruto actually pauses for a moment as all three of them expect him to ask a sweet question, something along the lines of maybe what she looked like. However, they got the opposite. Who killed her and took her away from me? All three of them then sat in silence, remembering the story that Tengen had told them about Naruto having to fight the person that killed his parents. We don't know. Oh, okay. Naruto then continues eating, and then asks what she looked like. Suma then smiles, turning to him with a soft-hearted smile. It's actually pretty funny. You two look a lot alike. And you have the same fiery expression that draws others to you. Naruto was then forced to crack a smile, and he couldn't believe it, that a woman like that looked like him. And as they saw his slight smile, the three of them then freaked out. Stop staring at me, will ya? Anyway, where is he? Makio then smirks. Wanna come find out? She then grabs Naruto's hand after he finished eating, as the two of them then leave the restaurant. Hinatsuru and Suma then smile together. He's really not a bad kid at all. No, he's not. Hinatsuru then looks at Suma. Something on your mind? Well, it's just I read into one of the house servants earlier, right? And she said that Naruto has scars all over his body. Both the women then think about it and wonder what his past life was like. Naruto and Makio then entered the large facility where Tengen was overseeing some of the training of their family. Different warriors of all shapes and sizes then stood performing their training regimen. It's pretty cool, right? Naruto then walks in and looks at Tengen. So this is what you do? Well, a village could attack us at any time, and we must be prepared. Whatever, I just came here to train. Is that so? Tengen then halts the training and introduces Naruto to the Uzui family warriors. They all look at him as an outsider, but one larger teen then steps up and challenges Naruto in combat. So, what are the rules? Tengen then states to win, and Naruto sighs. You shouldn't have said that. He pulls out 2 kunai from his side as Tengen wonders where he got them from. He then watches as Naruto runs towards the teen, who would block Naruto's attacks, but is caught off guard when mid-strike, Naruto lets go of one of the kunai and punches him in the face before grabbing it once again and slamming it into his shoulder. The teen reacts by kicking Naruto only to have his leg grabbed by him. Naruto then lands a punch directly into his face, sending him back. So, that's it? No, I'm just getting started. The teen stands up and pulls out his own katana, surrounding it with wind. He swings it down, only for Naruto to dodge the blade. Pretty cool, but I think I have an even better trick. Naruto dodges a few more attacks, surprising Tengen that he could keep up so well with this trained warrior. However, he then noticed that the student that Naruto was facing had already lost his temper. Naruto then dodges another attack, quickly placing his hands on the teen's chest with a smile. Stay out of my way. An explosion goes off in the building, blowing up debris everywhere, as the teen is seen landing against the wall, knocked out. Makio then begins yelling at Naruto that was unnecessary to try and kill him, but Naruto sighed. I didn't try to kill him. I tried to knock him out, and it looks like I succeeded. But whatever. That training partner wasn't a challenge at all. Naruto puts his hands back in his pocket, and then he walks off. As he walks by Tengen, the top half of his outfit is ripped off, and his scars are revealed to all in the room. Naruto then glares at Tengen with his hands still in his pockets. Why? Because I want you to tell me the story. Naruto then sighs as he walks off shirtless, as if. Makio chases after him as later in the day, Naruto returns to their home. He's greeted by that same younger girl with red hair and glasses. I'm glad to see you return safe, young master. Shall I draw you a bath? No, it's fine. I'll do it myself. Then, do you need someone to wash your back? I said I'm fine. Go do something else. She bows to Naruto, watching him walk by, as Naruto goes into the bathroom and he sits in this own pool-like bath as he looks at his scars in the mirror. Disgusting. So, do you want me to tell you how I got them? Naruto would turn his head, noticing that Tengen was already there, because he heard his footsteps all the way down the hall. You're pretty good. Shut up. You also had some pretty good moves today. You fight like your father when we were young. You react on instinct and your opponent's movements before you strike. You allow yourself to enjoy battle to its fullest before you decide to end it. You're also gifted in your genetics as you have our famous Kekkei Genkai, explosion release. Tengen goes on until he looks at Naruto to see him looking at the ceiling. Fine. I'll tell you where I got my scars. Within this story, Naruto was adopted by a shinobi within the Leaf Village. It shocked many that Mitsuki would adopt a boy since he was so dangerous. However, there was a small catch to this adoption. Throughout Naruto's younger years, he was abused by Mitsuki and a couple other people within the Leaf Village. He went through strenuous hours of torture a day after day, as it even seemed that Naruto's spirit was broken at one point. He didn't talk to anyone and remained silent throughout his days. And as he walked around one night, he found a girl crying. She stated how her family life was horrible and how she wished her mom was still around. Naruto talked to this girl for a while before some bullies would come up and start bothering them. This is when Naruto fought them off and then took the girl to a place where they could just talk and be alone. They talked for hours as they really got along through talking about their own problems. Naruto then walked her home and saw her big house as Hinata stated she doesn't want to go back inside. And Naruto asked her a question. Does your family hit you? No, only when training, but I don't count that. That's good. Then I think you should go back to them. What about you? Are you gonna go back to your home, Naruto? Maybe. I'd rather not get another scar until these ones heal. What are you talking about? Hinata then watches Naruto show the blade marks that are on his body. I think you should be grateful for what you have right now, as it could be way worse. Naruto then walks off, wishing her luck in her training. One night, Mizuki would go to kill Naruto, as he would be able to claim that the Uchiha did it and this would lead to their eventual downfall. But here that doesn't work, as we could only see Naruto break free from his bondage and fight back. You know something? I'm tired of waiting around for someone to come and save me, when I could have just done it myself this entire time. Naruto rushes Mizuki, getting cut on his ear, but then placing his hands on his chest. An explosion goes off within the Leaf Village, where many shinobi then run that way, but all they could find is a knocked out Naruto, surrounded by the destroyed rubble of their home. From here on out, Naruto lived as if he wanted to, as if the world was his own, until the arrival of Tengen Uzui within the Leaf Village. Naruto then lays back in the hot water, as he would then sigh, looking back up at the ceiling. Man, what a dragged out and lame story. But I guess that is my life. Naruto would turn, seeing Tengen and looking at him. That enough for you? Tengen then pulls him in close, and he hugs Naruto. It's okay. You won't have to worry about that here. I'll show you what it means to have a true family. Naruto then pushes his hand off and stands up. I didn't ask for that. Naruto dries off and slides open the door, leaving the room to see all three of Tengen's wives sitting there. Jeez, I knew you guys were there. You could have at least hid when I came out. You're pretty nosy, you know that? Naruto looks down at Suma, and he puts his hand on her head. But thanks for telling me about my mom. Naruto then walks off, with the girls freaking out, as he may be warming up to them a little bit. Naruto then heads to the room to see the red-haired girl waiting outside of his door. Young master, how was your bath? It was ruined by others, but thanks for asking. She slides open the door for Naruto, and he walks in, sitting down on his bed. So this is really my new home. I hope you'll stay here for a long time. Naruto then sighs while looking out the window at the full moon. I plan to. It's actually quite peaceful here. What's your name? Oh, it's Karin. Karin Uzumaki. Naruto turns to her with a shocked expression upon his face for only a moment. Alright then, Karin. From here on out, I'll be trusting you to do as I say. She nods with a smile and closes the door, wishing Naruto a good night's sleep. He wakes up the next morning and walks out of his room to see Tengen standing there. I've decided to take you on as my pupil, meaning you will not train with the rest of our clan. You will be trained personally by those I instruct to do so. Head to the top of this cliff and meet with Gyatso. He is a monk that will train your mind and prepare you for the worst to come. Naruto then sighs and takes a scroll that details his new master's specific location. Naruto then sets out to leave by getting dressed first. As he throws on his new clothing that has that dark blue color, someone knocks on the door. Come in. It's Karin. She steps in, greeting Naruto with a smile. Young master, I heard around the monastery that you'll be leaving today for your training to begin. Yeah, it seems that way. I wish you luck and success. Naruto then sighs and walks towards her. For those born of tragedies like me, luck isn't an option. As he leaves, she begins to pout, saying that he was cold, and the other maids and guards begin laughing at her frustration. Naruto then heads out with the scroll and travels to the other side of the Sound Village, where the hills and valleys connected. This is where he began up a large hill in order to find Gyatso. As he ascends towards it, he noticed that the air becomes thinner, and the winds push him harder. It doesn't bother Naruto at all, so he continues forward without stopping. Once he reaches the top, he realized that the man was nowhere to be found. Really? He sent me all the way here, and this guy isn't even here. Whatever. I'll just train on my own while I wait for him. Naruto creates a clone and then begins sparring. From a taller hill, Gyatso was seen looking down on Naruto. I will come back later and check on how he's doing. For days, Naruto stays upon the hilltop training with his clone and occasionally leaving in order to grab food. Gyatso was pretty impressed, as out of all the students, Naruto had stayed here the longest. A month would even pass, as now Karin would even begin bringing the food towards the hill where Naruto was. He began training to an entirely different intensity while waiting for the man to appear. Gyatso even goes to Tengen, asking where he found this student at. He is the son of my brother. Wait, Minato? Really? That's his son. Astonishing. No wonder he's been training non-stop. Tengen even seems surprised hearing that. He's been what? Each day, he trains harder and harder. It's as if he's commanding me to appear by gaining more strength. Tengen can only be riled up by the thought of Naruto's determination. Wait, Gyatso, is he still on the mountaintop? Yes, he is. He's at the summit. The air pressure at that level is extreme. And you said he's been training there? What type of training has he been doing? Gyatso himself didn't even know, as this is when we see Karin walking back to the top to bring Naruto some more food. As she slowly makes it up there on her own, she then sees him. He stands, sweating, creating a hand sign, and his chakra slowly begins flowing around his own body. It's a bright color, almost a shade of pink that appears white in a way. Finally, I can manifest it myself. Naruto had always struggled with his chakra control, but he was able to actually make a clone here through his intense training from his younger days. But he wasn't able to properly control his chakra to the degree of many others. But this was also due to him being a Jinchuriki and Kurama's interference. But he began to train by watching shinobi from his own village. He used to do their training to benefit his own. This led him to the point that he currently is now. Naruto looks towards a rock and dashes towards it, almost triple his original speed, and as he pulls his fist back, he smashes it into pieces. Good. That's where I need to be. What can that old man even show me? Naruto then turns around, hearing slow breathing of Karin from far away. He then greets her and thanks her for bringing him food, even though she doesn't have to at all. She says it's her job, and Naruto eats some of the fruit. As they continue to talk, Karin asks what he was trying to accomplish. And he said, "I'm trying to learn how to control my chakra." "Wait, you've been doing all this training just for that?" "Yeah, you could say that." She then shows off her own chakra control by using the Uzumaki chains taught to her by Suma. Naruto then sighs, saying he wished it was that simple for him, but it won't be, since he's a Jinchuriki. Karin's eyes would widen as she becomes very nervous. Before she could even speak again, a kunai goes right through the hand of Naruto as he shields her face from it. Without even saying a word, he performs the clone jutsu, and the clone picks up Karin and runs away with her. Smart move. Yeah, you can call it what you want. But she'd only hold me back here. Naruto turns, seeing a hooded figure. "What do you plan to do about the poison in that kunai?" Naruto looks to his hand and smiles as he rips out the kunai and then wraps up his hand. "It shouldn't be a problem at all for me to deal with." Naruto then rushes the man and sends out a kick that's blocked as Naruto repeatedly throws attacks, but all of them are countered and evaded by swift and agile movements of this unknown person. Naruto is then hit with a furious combo that makes him lose ground in this battle quickly. What was that? Naruto then looks up to see a hand in his face. An explosion goes off on the hill, leaving Naruto knocked out. As at night, he wakes up and sees that there's a fire going on in front of him, and he sees an older man sitting down while eating. "So, you've allowed yourself to rise once again." Naruto looks at his hand and rips off the bandages, knowing that it was healed by the fox. "Yeah, you could say that." Naruto sits down on a log, looking through the man at the fire. "Well, isn't that some way to greet your student, Gyatso?" "I've been watching you for a while, Naruto. You're quite impressive. I know you have. I began hearing your lightweight footsteps around the second week of my training. Yet, you did not seek me out and kept training. Why?" "Well, I assume you must have been testing my patience. But you clearly found out that as someone who's waited years to kill a man who'd been torturing him, I can sit and wait for quite a while. You're not a man just yet. You may think that you are, but there's still a clear line that separates you from that realm. In fact, I'll show it to you." He pulls out a black dust from his pocket and blows it into the fire, changing its color and putting Naruto into a trance. As I know some of you may think that this is a genjutsu, but what I'm referring to is a hypnotic trance caused by a hallucinogenic sand. Naruto is then surrounded by the dark clouds that soon form the people who hate him within the Leaf Village. Hundreds of villagers appear, shouting at Naruto and then attacking him. Naruto defends himself by attacking back. As on the outside, Tengen appeared, asking if it had begun, and Gyatso nodded. His rage and hatred will be the hardest emotions for him to overcome. But if he is able to do so before the time runs out, the rest of our training won't be hard for him at all. Naruto, within his mind, ripped through those he once hated like he never did before. All of his anger was on full display here as he killed the villagers. In this hallucination is where Naruto becomes the true nine-tailed demon. He falls into a pool of hatred, which it seems he won't be able to escape from. He begins destroying the village itself. But what stops him? Is Hinata crying over her dead family and calling Naruto a true monster? This snaps him out of his rage, where he thinks about everything he's done. I've killed so many people who've even done nothing to me at all. Just why did I do this? Naruto sits and thinks, and instead of crying and causing even more suffering, he looks at the villagers and disappears. Naruto sits up days later with Gyatso meditating in front of him. You passed the first test and conquered your rage. Well, to a certain degree you have. As within you there is more, but that rage is not your own, as there's still a way for you to conquer that as well. But that'll be in the future, when you need it most. The rest of your training will work on you to control all your emotions and thoughts. That way in battle, you can have a clear mind of a true warrior that can always think rationally. Tell me, Naruto, why did you save Karin, instead of letting her go with you? Naruto says because she would have held him back, but then is hit on the head with his staff. No, In fact, you would have been the one holding her back. Gyatso then explained that Karin has been trained ever since she was young by Tengen and his family. This shocked Naruto, but he did remember that she's an Uzumaki, and she had the Uzumaki chains. But maybe she had even more techniques than this at her disposal. Naruto then nods, recognizing his mistake in that fight, and Gyatso applauds him. Even Tengen himself does not admit his mistakes that easily. Come with me, as we have much work to do if you are to be the successor of this clan. Successor? Yes. He didn't tell you? That's why he rescued you from the Leaf Village. You are to be the successor who leads and protects the Sound Village, the Hashira. Naruto's eyes widen, as here we get a time skip of a whole year, where throughout this time Naruto has to learn to control his emotions, not just in calm situations, but even in battle when he's near death, as he can remain as calm-minded as possible. Although, through this training, we see a different side of Naruto begin to show itself. His more playful and charming side, where he would toy with his opponents, humiliating them before their own defeat. Gyatso tried his best to break this bad habit, but the more he did so, the more Naruto exceeded and gained further strength. Combat was fun for the boy, and it was his escape from normal life. Gyatso and Naruto are seen meditating on the very same hill, with Naruto slowly opening his eyes. Your mental training has been complete. Thank you, Sensei Gyatso. Now, I'm gonna show you one final thing before you go. He taps Naruto on his chest, with chakra surrounding his hand, as he begins flowing his own energy into Naruto. This helps Naruto break through Kurama's barrier blockage within his chakra lines, as Naruto instantly feels the difference, as now Kurama actually feels so separate from himself, as Naruto could directly draw from his Uzumaki pool of chakra, without any of Kurama's intervention. Tengen then arrives to congratulate Naruto, but this was only the first step in his long life of training. Naruto is then brought to the Uzui Family Academy, where he's met with his new instructor. Naruto, let me introduce you to Katsuri. She'll be your combat instructor. Naruto and the woman stare at one another, and then he shrugs it off. Alright then, let's get started. Sorry kid, but I'm busy today. Come back tomorrow for some training. Naruto then looks at her and vanishes, sending a kick to her neck. She catches it and throws him against the wall. Not bad for a half pint. You're pretty quick. Call me whatever you want. That still doesn't change the fact that you'll have to train me. Naruto then walks off to go get some food, and Katsuri states that he's an interesting pupil. How long did Gyatso's training take him? Just about a year. Her eyes then widen, knowing it took her, Tengen, and Minato at least 2 years of consistent training with him. Well, it seems that Naruto was a special case, and I believe he'll even end up being stronger than me. Naruto meets up with his aunts and go for lunch, as Suma is the first to congratulate him on his training with Gyatso. They head out to Naruto's favorite restaurant, which reminds him of Ichiraku Ramen back home. As they eat, they notice that Naruto orders a to-go bowl of ramen. Why did you get an extra? Are you really that hungry? Yeah, I am, so stop asking me questions all the time. Naruto walks out with the bowl after paying, as it's wrapped in a box. That was weird, right, Makio? Yeah. Hinatsuru, you know what I'm thinking? Well, he's probably just hungry, right? No. As if. Makio then suggests that they follow Naruto to see where he was going. Hinatsuru states that that's a bad idea, but they decide to go anyway. They follow Naruto to a jewelry shop, which was strange, as he's never been there and they've never taken him there before. They look through the window to see that Naruto was talking with the shopkeeper. Ah yes, the young master has returned. I assume you wish to have the piece now? Is it done? Yes, custom made to your liking. A golden necklace with a jade jewel as a pendant. As he shows it to Naruto, he says, amazing. One of the kind work, like always. He places it into a box for Naruto, who then leaves and heads back home. They follow him, but they don't actually get to see what Naruto does with it. They walk in later and are greeted by the maids and the guards, as Karin was one of them that greeted them, and they see the necklace on her. This caused the three girls to grab Karin and begin questioning her. As Naruto later steps out of his room, seeing them in the hallway, and tells his aunts to leave his maid alone, Karin then runs by them apologizing and walks around to get behind Naruto as they head to the training hall in the larger house. The next day is when Naruto arrives back at the academy for his combat training in order to become better in his attacks and his defense. Katsuri looks to the boy and asks him if he wishes to learn through watching or sparring. Sparring, of course. This is when the woman let several of her own elite guard attack Naruto. Their movements were fast, and they were strict on him without holding back at all. Naruto was beaten up for at least 30 minutes before it stopped. Lesson 1. Always be on your guard. Defense is the gateway to your best offense. Yeah, I'm sure it is. She then kicks Naruto in the stomach, sending him into one of the walls. Trust me, kid, you have a lot to learn if you want to survive on the outside world. What are you even talking about? I don't think you know, but those of our blood are hunted for money, so you have to be on guard when out there. Just when I thought my life couldn't get any harder. Stop complaining, you brat. Get up and do it again. This time, no attacking back, only blocking and evading. The entire day passes, with Naruto returning home bruised and somewhat injured. At the dinner table, Tengen pokes fun at him for his injuries while Naruto would just sigh. Yeah, it's whatever. I didn't think I'd actually get hit, but I guess I learned something. Oh yeah? And what's that, kid? Naruto then releases a murderous intent, and he blocks the blade of the guard standing next to him. Tengen tells him not to worry, and the guard stands back up straight. Naruto then leans over the table and points his ear. I can hear the inside of a human's body. I can hear their muscles tense up, meaning an attack was about to come. Tengen then smiles, saying he's impressed, but he'll soon be able to hear much more than that. Naruto then returns to his defensive training in the morning, where he continues for months like this until he finally gets a breakthrough. Naruto begins dodging some of their attacks, but not all of them. He struggled with his focus on multiple things at once. It was most likely due to his way of fighting, but Naruto soon began evading and countering the attacks in the coming months. Naruto's speed and endurance rapidly increased through this training, as it slowly led him to becoming a great fighter on the level of a low Chunin. But that was only his defense. His offense still lacked power. So, Katsuri began instructing him how to properly use his chakra to intensify his strikes. Do you know how to access your chakra? Naruto nods and she explains the process of coating his fists in chakra right before it lands on a target. This way, they can't prepare themselves for the attack. She then shows Naruto how to do it, and says it requires practice and immense timing and focus. This won't be something a prodigy like you could do on the first try. Naruto nods to begin practicing. 4 months of his strike training goes on until he's somewhat able to do it unconsciously. Naruto's timing is still a little bit slow, but it's good enough to now build upon. This is when he begins sparring with less and less of her elite guard, and with her heavily instructing him through battle. Rely not on your eyes, but every other sense that is available to you as well. Naruto dodges a punch and goes for an uppercut only to be slammed into the ground because of how weak his strike was. Again, over and over, Naruto is beaten, but he keeps getting up. His tenacity is admirable, but it seems he's not making any progress. Naruto dodges another strike, this time going for the same uppercut but faking it. A burst of chakra surrounds his leg as he's able to do a roundhouse kick that sends the guard into the ground. However, this elite guard was of the Uzui family, and he was a combat instructor, so he got back up with no problems at all. Not bad, kid, but it'll take a whole lot more than that. Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking right now. She didn't know what Naruto meant until he shocked her. He sped up his movements and then appeared in front of the guard in a blink of an eye. Naruto then performed 6 punches before the guard could even move, as he was sent flying, and he coughed up a small amount of blood before standing back up. Katsuri would stop the training and asked Naruto what that was, and he explained. I used chakra to speed up my movements in my joints and my muscles in order to move faster so that I could hit him. Although I expected it to do much more damage than that. Katsuri looked at Naruto and then sees Minato within him. This spites her just a little bit because Minato was always a better fighter than her. and now his son might become better as well. She curses Minato before dismissing the guard and deciding to now take Naruto's training a lot more serious, even though they were still in the early stages of it. I'll be your opponent from here on out. Are you ready? Naruto assumes his stance and then acquires an expression of immense focus. The two then rush at each other and the training continues. Katsuri trains Naruto in hand-to-hand combat for several more months before letting him pick up a blade, as although he was able to naturally do it because he just liked fighting with kunai, katana, staff, and any other weapon that he could get his hands on. He favored more of the katana-based style, which made sense, as it allowed him to fight as he wished to, up close and personal, or if he wanted to, he could back up just a little bit. And the katana was also a good balance of offense and defense. The weapon itself also wouldn't be heavy for Naruto to use. As he began training with the weapons, he also noticed that Katsuri began showing more of her true strength. This is what pushed Naruto in a constant fight for life or death, day in and day out. On his final day of training, Tengen was present, as after he walks to Naruto, now not in robes, he was in his combat outfit. Are you ready for the final part of your training? Naruto then nods, and Tengen leads him to an area filled with rocks and boulders. Pay attention, as this is how you'll properly learn how to use our explosion release. Uzui then rushes up and appears in front of a large rock with his blades in his hand. First form, roar. He slams him down, creating a sound that resembles a thunder-like explosion as it completely destroys the rock. Naruto is left stunned, asking, what was that? This is known as sound breathing. Naruto's eyes then light up, hearing the name, and Tengen becomes very serious, knowing he has to pass this on to Naruto. So for the rest of Naruto's training, he studies under his uncle to learn all 5 forms of sound breathing. Now, I know the anime of Demon Slayer, we've only ever seen 3 techniques, so for the other ones I'll just make them up myself. We see Naruto again, at the age of 13 to 14, standing on top of a building. Basically like the thumbnail of this video is what he looks like. He was standing there smiling, and we even get to see his blades that were similar to Tengen's own. However, the edge on Naruto's blade was red, as it honored his mother's side of the family as well. He heads out to the office of Tengen, receiving his first mission ever, to liberate the land of waves. And this won't be easy for you, Naruto, as a shinobi from the 7 Mist Swordsmen is there. However, do not worry, as your blade can rival his own. Shinobi who hail from villages such as that have a talent from water jutsu. So, if you are in battle, keep it on land, as you'll have the advantage. Alright, I'll begin preparing to head out. Naruto then returns to his home, and walks in to be greeted as usual. Karin, prepare yourself as we leave tonight. All 3 of the aunts are then shocked that he already has his first mission, but he promises to come back home safe. That night, Naruto and Karin leave, as we see a more serious Naruto go through the details of the mission with her. It's not a stealth mission either, but they decide to sneak their way into the land of waves to truly get a grasp of how dire this situation could be. It takes them around 3 weeks to get there as the two pace themselves in order to maximize their energy for battle. Once they arrive, Naruto and Karin separate, asking around to gain as much information as they can. Naruto is actually the one to run into Tazuna and his family, as after listening to what happened here, he says it's going to end today. What, kid? You're crazy. There's nothing you can do. I was already going to make my way to the Leaf Village and ask for their assistance. Really? Then I'll save you the trip. Naruto flash steps and goes to find Karin, who was actually at Gato's place of business. Good work, Karin. Now, let's pay them a visit. The large doors are then kicked down by Naruto, who holds his blades with a smile. He looks around and doesn't see anyone who looks like a boss here. Huh. He's not here. That's too bad. Who are the brats? I don't know, but that girl right there could be worth some money. Instantly, these 2 bandits have their heads cut off by Naruto. Look in her direction, and I'll kill all of you. The bandits become, well, alerted of the skill of this boy, but they believe they have numbers on Naruto. Naruto then holds up his blades. Karin, I'm already leaving. She then uses a Earth-style jutsu to repair the door and seal all the enemies inside. Naruto then smiles. First form. Roar. An explosion goes off, destroying the entire building and killing all of those inside. Karin on the outside would literally slap her hand on her forehead. He really does go overboard. Naruto appears back next to her and tells her to come on, as we'll just have to find him a different way. Later in the day, Gato returns, with 2 guards seeing the destruction of this business-like building. Just what on earth happened here? This is when some fruits begin to fall on his head. He looks up, seeing Naruto and Karin in the tree above him. So, you finally came back. I got pretty bored of waiting for you. Who are those 2? Your guards? This shouldn't be a problem at all. Naruto vanishes and swings his blade, trying to cut off the head of Gato, only for the executioner's blade to then block the attack. Sorry, kid, but you can't kill him with me around. Is that so? An explosion then goes off, sending Zabuza flying in confusion. Gato was luckily protected by the ice of Haku. However, as he went to help Zabuza, golden chains would stab into his body. I can't let you interfere with the young master's battle. Zabuza then regains his ground, looking up to see Naruto walking towards him. What kind of attack was that? There was no hand signs at all. What? As Zabuza tries to think just who this was, Naruto gets in a stance and then begins controlling his breathing. Zabuza then looks down, as Naruto would vanish once again. He sees blood coming from his chest, causing him to fall to one knee, as he now had an X-like slash that began leaking blood even quicker. We then see Naruto, holding his blades on his shoulders. Second form, Silent Twin Slash. An attack that makes no sound, as Naruto's presence completely disappears while using this. Not only that, but when Zabuza goes to talk, he realizes he couldn't due to some of his vital organs hurting so much. It's already over. There's no need for you to try and keep up. Naruto then slowly turns and begins walking towards him, and Gato is there as he kills the man without hesitation. Naruto then turns to Karin to see her finishing off Haku as well, as he looked down at Zabuza, who, well, was basically already dead. He then kills him to make the pain go away faster. Naruto then returns to the Land of Waves town and tells Tazuna of the news. He couldn't believe it and asked the 2 of them if they would help build the bridge as well. I've done my mission, and so I'm going to report back to my home. Tazuna questions where this is, and Naruto points a blade at him. Don't ask that question again, as he wouldn't give an answer, and he leaves the town and returns to the Sound Village with Karin. The 2 are praised for having completed their mission in record time. Some time does pass before leading to Naruto's next mission. This one was actually be with Tengen himself and his wives, as his uncle explained how he wishes to find and kill Orochimaru, the Snake Sannin. I also have intel that he'll be in the Leaf Village during the Chunin exams, but that could be a mistake. However, we can't waste this opportunity. Are you up for the challenge, Naruto? Yeah, I am. I have some unfinished business there as well. Tengen only smiles and tells Naruto to keep up his training, and he'll alert him when they're ready to leave. When they do leave, both of them are excited, as Tengen gets to see his nephew in action, and Naruto actually gets to see what Tengen is really capable of. They take their time on the way to the Leaf Village, as it's going to be a long mission. The 2 of them actually arrive here in the middle of the Chunin exams, where the tournament battles were taking place. The family overlooked the village as Karin asked Naruto if this is where he grew up, as he nodded and she got excited for a moment, asking him to point where his house was. Naruto sighs and points to the ground. She was confused until Naruto vanished, going into the leaf himself. The Yamanaka clan isn't alerted by this because Naruto was already in the database, and because of the Chunin exams as well, so they had to lower their guard. Tengen and his 3 wives alongside Karin stay out of the village for just a moment, as Tengen himself wishes Naruto luck in gathering intel in the first place, as the boy heads to the arena. He walks in, using the transformation jutsu, and finds the Hokage who sat alone. Hiruzen of course was guarded, but Naruto was able to sneak around them, as now he stood behind the chair of the Hokage. Where is Orochimaru, old man? Hearing that voice, The third Hokage gets flashbacks to the boy who had the nine tails within him. Naruto, is that really you? Surprised you can even remember me. Anyway, where's Orochimaru? Hiruzen then sighs. I have no idea, but I've learned that from Kakashi, he's focused on attacking a young Sasuke Uchiha. It appears that he's the main target. I see. What makes this person so special then? He's one of the last remaining Uchiha in the world. Naruto's eyes widen, remembering the clan that was humiliated by the Leaf time and time again. This village is such a toxic place, you know that? If only they had a capable Kage. Well, we had your father. That's true, but did you really have him? Or did you have Minato Namikaze, who became Hokage? The only father that I have is Minato Uzui. Hiruzen's eyes would widen here as Naruto vanishes from this area and begins to watch over Sasuke from the shadows. Eventually, the attack on Konoha does happen, and Orochimaru does appear, as Tengen and his wives confront him, with Orochimaru not knowing who he was. Of course you wouldn't remember me. I was just a kid when you poisoned my mother. Orochimaru glares at Tengen, remembering the fight he had with the Uzui woman who was quite strong, but even the strongest warriors can't handle a toxin forced into their body, as Orochimaru was the reason for the Uzui's clan training in poison resistance. So, you've come for revenge. How fitting. Tengen then vanished and hit Orochimaru with his blade, sending him flying. No, I've come to kill you, in order to make sure you don't harm anyone else. His wives would nod and begin to complete their mission, but they also began talking with each other. Where is Karin and Naruto? Near the arena of the Chunin exams, in the trees, we see an awakened Gaara. As one of the trees seemed to be falling right on top of Hinata, she was still injured from her battle with Neji, as luckily, she was saved as this tree was cut in half and she was caught by Naruto. Hey, it's been a while, Hinata. Naruto, is that really you? Of course it is. Don't worry about anything else. I came to save you from this place. Naruto hands Hinata to Karin, and the red-haired girl escapes danger with her. Who are you? I'll explain that later. The young master just needs you out of danger for right now so he can focus on the battle. Hinata turns back, seeing the smile of Naruto as he rushed forward towards the One-Tails. This shouldn't be hard at all, so let's have some fun. Naruto first saves Sakura and Sasuke, but here the two don't even know who he is, because he is slightly older than them. After this, we see Naruto throw a bunch of smoke bombs in the area, as the boy also begins running on the arms of Shukaku, constantly dodging sand and getting closer and closer to the head of Gaara. So this is a tailed beast. Pretty lame compared to my own. Naruto flips through the air, and he then floats to the head of Gaara. One strike should be enough. Sasuke and Sakura then look up, seeing all of this, amazed at his abilities, as Sasuke was more envious of the power that he held, but he didn't even know who this person was. First form. Roar. A huge explosion goes off, as it can be seen from even outside the village. Tengen turns to Orochimaru, saying that his time is up. My student might think less of me if I'm not able to take you down quickly. Second form. Silent twin slash. Orochimaru is cut across his body and begins to laugh. You think that this is enough? Huh. He tries to regenerate his body and then realizes that something was off. There was now a toxin that was preventing him from healing and using his regeneration. Wait, how is this possible? When did you develop this? I've been planning this for a long time, Orochimaru. Suddenly, all three of his wives would appear around Orochimaru. Triangular prism. They then seal Orochimaru in some sort of triangle prison that he can't break out of, as Tengen places it into his own pocket. I'll dispose of you later. Good work, you three. Let's head out. They go to the meeting point to see Karin standing there with a hurt Hinata on her back, but she wasn't too injured. The two were talking as she was convinced to leave the village and return with them to the land of sound, as she'd be with Naruto. Tengen asked where Naruto was, actually, and she smirked, remembering what he said before they entered the battlefield. I'm gonna have a blast here. It's been a while since I've been, so why not show off a little bit? We then go back to Naruto to see him standing over Gaara with his blades pointed at him. A scream is then heard from Temari for him not to kill him, and Naruto sighs. I wasn't planning on it, but it depends. How important is this person to your village? She then hesitates before answering, but Kankuro states that that's their brother. Is that so? Well, let me ask you another question. Naruto then places one of his swords closer to the neck of Gaara. Is he so important to you because he's your brother? Or is it because he's a Jinchuriki? Both siblings then stop and think for a moment. But Naruto was right. This caused them to lower their heads, but he could only smile. I won't kill him. It's hard for a shinobi, to be honest, especially in this world. Keep your family as close as possible, and learn to actually care for him as the person that he is. They thank Naruto, asking for his name, but he gives none to them. As Naruto begins to run towards the meeting point, Sasuke confronts him. Who are you, and where did you get that power? Sakura then catches up to him, almost out of breath. Sasuke, there's no way we can beat him. Shut up, Sakura. I'm going to beat him and take those blades. That must be the reason why he's so strong. Naruto then leans back with curiosity. Fine, here you go. He tosses them to the ground towards Sasuke, who smiles. Good, now I'll just... As Sasuke goes to pick him up, he realizes that he can't. They're too heavy for his body. He then looks back at Naruto to see him take off his dark blue jacket, realizing how much muscle he actually has. Naruto then walks over, lifting the blades with just one hand, throwing him on his back. And as he does so, Sasuke tries to use the Chidori. Naruto quickly dodges this and kicks his ribs, breaking one of them and sending him into a tree. Naruto then walks over towards Sasuke. A word of advice. Don't trust anyone in this village. They're the fault for many things, even the downfall of the mightiest clans, including the Uchiha. Sasuke tries to continue to argue with Naruto, but he's gone in a flash. He then returns to the group with Makio and Suma, scolding him for being so late. Whatever, I ran into some problems on the way here. No big deal though. How was the battle with the Orochimaru? Hinata states that it was a complete success, as now they just need to get rid of the prison so that he can't be unsealed. Naruto nods and then looks to Hinata. So, do you wish to come with us? She then nods and Naruto smiled. Well then, let's go, sensei. Tengen laughs for a moment, realizing that Naruto just called him sensei. Then the group rushes off, returning back to the Sound Village. As during this time is when another Hokage, is elected. As I could say it beats Tsunade, but it's just so unlikely, especially without Naruto here to convince her. So, it would end with Jiraiya being forced to become the next Hokage, even though he doesn't want to. But before actually becoming the Hokage, he decides to train in order to become stronger to protect the village, as it'll be in his hands. This means he perfects his Sage Mode and a multitude of other various jutsu while studying under his old sensei, Hiruzen. This version of Jiraiya is on a whole nother tier of strength due to this, and he feels even more confident as a Kage of the Leaf Village. However, Danzo was still plotting in the shadows as he wishes to become the Hokage himself. Now, within the Grass Village, chaos would emerge due to Orochimaru not being there to relegate anything. And as of now, Kabuto's status isn't high among their shinobis, so he couldn't even command them. As the last village that sees a change is of course the Sand Village and the Sand siblings, as they become very close. This is where they begin to work together to do a lot of fixing in their village. And as of now, Naruto returns, as he has time to begin his final steps in his training, mastering the emotions of others, as he returns to the hill that Gyatso was on, greeting his sensei once again. You've grown so much, young master, but I still sense your intentions. Are you ready to begin this training? Yes. Suma Uzumaki appears to help Naruto in his training, and then presses his stomach. She gives him access to Kurama, and he somewhat passes out. Naruto then sits up right in front of the gate. Sup, Fox? What do you want, brat? That's no way to greet me. After all, you've been living in me for a pretty long time, and I thought we were partners. Don't make me laugh. When was the last time you even needed my chakra? So what do you need it for now? I didn't come here just for power. I came to ask you a very important question, actually. Don't even bother. Naruto then walks up to the cage and glares at Kurama with releasing a murderous intent. Who was there that night? Who was the man that killed my father? Kurama stands up on all fours, remembering that night. Madara Uchiha. Naruto then walks closer to the gate, beginning to rip off the seal. Will you help me find him? Kurama decides to agree so that he can one day get his revenge on the Uchiha. And as Naruto continues to rip off the first seal, a hand would stop him. Naruto looks up, seeing someone who is a mysterious man. Who are you? The Nine-Tails then yells out, Fourth Hokage. Naruto's eyes widen as the area around him turns golden, as they seem that they were no longer in front of the Nine-Tails or even within Naruto's mind. Minato then finally gets to greet his son, face to face. You're the spitting image of Kushina. Naruto sits down and asks Minato a question. You weren't in my life because you were killed. If you were here now, how would you have raised me? The father and son stare at each other for a while before Minato says, I don't know. We might have went back to the Sound Village. Oh really? I'm already here right now. Naruto then shows off his use of explosion release. Yeah, well I didn't actually think I'd be, well, like being in this village. But I do. It's my home now. Tengen isn't bad to be around either, and his wives actually make it enjoyable to be at the house. Oh, you met the three of them? Yeah, they're annoying at times, but I can stand them. Minato smiles. Have you made any friends? No, not really. The closest people I have to friends are probably Hinata and Karin. Minato then nods. What will you do now? Seek revenge for me by using the Nine-Tails? No. I seek justice for what happened. I plan to capture the man who killed you. Minato then looks at Naruto, also seeing Tengen and their father within him. I should have known you'd be more like them. Become strong, Naruto, as it won't be an easy fight for you to win. I don't have much time left, so I'll tell you all that I can. Minato relays the information of the battle that he had with the masked man, and then, for one last thing to pass off to Naruto, he shows him the Rasengan. This was a weapon that Naruto would one day be able to use with ease. Still, he'll have to learn the Rasengan when he wakes back up, as Naruto returns to the front of the gate and rips off the first seal, as the fox would laugh. I knew you wouldn't be foolish enough to truly free me. Yeah, why would I? You'd just attack me. Until I do, sit tight. You're not too shabby, brat. The fox smirks while Naruto vanishes and wakes back up, feeling the small amount of power from the Nine-Tails. Naruto then entered a nine-tailed state filled with rage, as Suma and Gyatso quickly jump back. She goes to suppress the Nine-Tails, but Gyatso holds out a staff blocking her. No, not yet. She then questioned this until she looked forward, seeing Naruto slowly control himself. His rage was still there, but it was more organized now in a way, as Naruto reopened his eyes, as he had a change in appearance. His eyes went from their usual dark red to the light purple that they naturally were. However, the QB slit was still present within them as the pupil. Naruto then held the form for a moment while talking to Kurama. What's this feeling? Pretty impressive, kid. I didn't think you'd actually be able to control that much of my power on the first try. Naruto then holds out his arm, and then he sits down and begins meditating. And Gyatso smiles, congratulating his student on his first step towards overcoming this beast. It will be a long and hard journey, but it won't take someone like him very long to adapt and pull through. A year and a half later, at night, we see a blonde man in robes running away from three people. He reaches towards a swing on a branch and then throws back his clay birds. They begin to explode upon impact, making him smile, thinking that it would be over. But then chains stab through his own body, as from the shadows we see the red hair of Karin as she forces Deidara to the ground as he begins begging for his life. Naruto then steps into the moonlight in a three-tailed state only with a smile. I just have a few questions for you. Maybe you could answer them for me. Minutes later, we see Naruto standing over the corpse of the man, while holding a piece of his clothing. The red clouds of the Akatsuki. 2 down. Let's go. Hinata and Karin follow behind Naruto. As they do, find a private location to rest for the night. Hinata asks Naruto if they learned anything about Madara, and Naruto nodded. It seems he's somewhat the leader of this group, but I don't know what their objective is just yet. The three of them then hear something ruffling in the bushes as Hinata activates Byakugan, with Karin using her chains. It's 2 people, but that's strange. What's strange? They seem familiar. This is when Sakura and Sasuke then walk from the shadows looking at the 3 of them. What are you doing with them, Hinata? She then starts to blush before Naruto stands up. I'll be the one asking the questions. Have you come to kill us? Sasuke shakes his head. No, I'm looking for someone else. My brother, Itachi Uchiha. Naruto then nods and sits back down. I wish you luck then. Sasuke and Sakura then leave this area and continue on their journey, but Naruto trails them. This leads them to the battle of Sasuke versus Itachi, as Sakura has to stay back with Kisame blocking her off from the battle. However, Naruto appears challenging Kisame. Why should I even fight you? Naruto lifts his shirt, showing the seal on his stomach. A Jinchuriki. Must be our lucky day, Samehada. He pulls out the blade and clashes with Naruto, as we see Naruto dodging his attacks effortlessly before landing a blow to Kisame's arm. An explosion goes off as it completely blows it off. What the heck was that? Naruto then holds out his blades in a flashy stance and smiles. Come on, I thought it was your lucky day. Naruto enters a 2-tailed state, and then blitz Kisame. He gets behind him, cutting his back, leaving a large slash, as Kisame turns swinging his blade, only for Naruto to grab it with one hand, and then use his other free hand to cut Kisame in half. Naruto then tells Karin and Hinata to stay back, as he'll be the one to go finish this battle. He then catches the last half of the battle, and after Sasuke passes out, the masked man then appears to take him away. But Naruto wasted no time jumping in and swinging his blade, but it would go right through the masked man, who then placed his hand on the chest of Naruto. A new challenger. But just where have I seen this face before? The masked man then puts his arm through Naruto, who poofs in smoke with a smile. A Rasengan is then slammed into him as he sent flying back, as before he could even realize that Naruto now stood behind him. Third form, Symphony Barrage. The masked man is cut multiple times and hit by multiple explosions before he can even make his body intangible once again. He was seen bleeding heavily and heavily breathing. That attack just now. Obito then gets flashbacks to his battle with Minato and looks at Naruto. So that's who you are. I'm surprised. I thought you would have been dead by now. Yeah, I get that a lot. Tell me something. Do you remember the face of the man who you killed? I've killed many, and I'm sure you have too, so don't expect me to remember one face. He was the 4th Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village, my father, Minato Namikaze. Ah yes, but don't you mean Minato Uzui, my sensei? What are you even talking about? The man then throws off his mask, revealing himself as Obito. Still, Naruto doesn't know who that is until it's explained to him. So you betrayed him. Obito stays silent and Naruto becomes angered as he entered the 8-tailed state and easily blitzed and overcame Obito before he could even become intangible. The Uchiha had no idea that Naruto could even be this powerful, as he assumed he could win this battle, but he might need to retreat and prepare himself. As he tries to leave, he realized that he couldn't, as not too far from a distance away, we see Hinata and Karin using a seal on the ground, as it basically traps Naruto and Obito into a confined area together. Obito sighs and then goes for another attack, but he can't keep up, and does his best to mitigate the damages. This all then leads to his death, as Naruto sees no other way. As Naruto's chakra cloak slowly vanishes from around his body, it began to rain in the Uchiha clan hideout, or what was left of it. Naruto turned, seeing Sakura pick up Sasuke, and then he walked towards them. I can't let you two leave. Wait, what? He could become very dangerous, and even attack my own home. Sakura pleads with him not to kill Sasuke, but instead take her. However, Naruto wasn't listening. Naruto raised his blades into the sky to kill them, but was stopped by Hinata. Spare them, please. She makes eye contact with Sakura, who then thanks her, as Naruto places blades back on his back. Do me a favor. Warn the Hokage of the Leaf that this group may come to your home looking for me, as I think that they're hunting the Jinchuriki. Sakura then nods, thanking them once again, and Naruto leaves with his two wives, and they return to the Sound Village to learn that Tengen had also killed a lot of the Akatsuki members as well, as it seemed there were only 4 remaining members: Pain, Konan, Kakazu, and Hidan. There was no way to tell their location, but this battle wouldn't be over until they found them. Luckily for them, Hidan and Kakazu were found by the Leaf Shinobi. However, many did die in that battle, including Azuma, as the 2 Akatsuki members were found once again and were killed by Shikamaru and Kakashi with his own new lightning jutsu. Jiraiya himself was worried that he didn't know when Pain could strike, but even if he did, he was ready. Still, they may be able to handle the attack since they have shinobi like himself, Hiruzen, Tsunade, who actually came back here, Kakashi, Sakura, and even Sasuke. As weeks pass, the Leaf is attacked by Pain and Konan, as they're looking for the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. And since there was no information on his last location, they came here, the place where he should be. Pain destroys the Leaf Village, and the battle ensues. Sasuke is the first to really go after Pain and protect his home, with his new Mangekyo Sharingan. Since there were still so many powerful shinobi in the Leaf Village this time, I do think they will be able to win this battle, but not without many losses, as I don't think Jiraiya could convince Nagato to use the Rinne Rebirth on everyone, so all the people who died, including Kakashi, would stay dead. So this would be a great loss for the Leaf Village, as they begin to start rebuilding with only about half their population. But this is also when other villages try to rise in power, due to there being a power gap since the Leaf was out of power. But this doesn't concern the Sound Village at all, so Naruto and his family stays at peace, as this is where our story truly ends.